Hey guys, how are you? Welcome into a Thursday morning edition of the Daily Juice Podcast. My name is Matt Perrault. You can follow me on Twitter at SportsTalkMatt. We're here every single morning on BettingPros.com. Wherever you get your videos, your audio, YouTube, I guess, well, yeah, no. Try that again. Coming down 3, 2, and 1. What's up, guys? How are you? Welcome to the Thursday morning edition of the Daily Juice Podcast with me, Matt Perrault, at Sports Talk Matt on Twitter. This podcast can be found wherever you get your audio. If you want to watch it, you got YouTube to go to, and on BettingPros.com, we post it as well. You got the BetMGM offer that's up today, $5 to win $100 if the team you bet on scores a touchdown. Easy, money line. Take a spread bet, total bet, whatever, $5. Juice100, that promo code when you sign up for a new account with BetMGM. $5, $100 guaranteed if a touchdown gets scored in the game, like Thursday Night Football. We'll get to that coming up here in just 1 second. So last night was not a good night. Okay, so it's sort of like the way we've been going, right? So it's, Monday, Tuesday, good. Wednesday, bad. Bad Wednesday. I went a little aggressive. The Vegas Golden Knights are still playing right now. That game is in the second period intermission. Vegas, I think, wins that game. They should win that game. They might not. But if they don't, if they do, it's 2-2, but it's 2-3, and the one unit Coastal really is what kills everything. So the over hit for the Red Sox and the Astros again for a fifth straight time. The over came in. We've played that 4 times now, so we've hit that 4 times. And that might be the only thing that hits, or maybe the Vegas Golden Knights win. The Bruins was a bad bet. That is – now – the good thing about betting early in the NHL is that you need to take notes, okay? It's one of the important things, and I'm trying to do more of it myself right now, is keep track of things that you're finding out. And what we have found out is that the Philadelphia Flyers do not play defense, but they score, and they score a lot. And they are putting pucks in the net and giving up just as many, 6-3, the final score. So I had the Bruins on the money line. What a bad day for the city of Boston. Whew. Celtics lose in double overtime to the Knicks. Our first half Knicks bet, man, it's amazing because that probably should have hit. The Knicks just missed a bunch of free throws, had a couple of bad turnovers. They went on a 13-0 run, though, at the end of the second quarter. Got right back in it. Initially went up by 2, and then ultimately were down by 4 at the break. So that doesn't hit, but, you can watch the Knicks a little bit. And so defensively, they're a little bit not as good as last year. Offensively, a bit more explosive, so mark that down. But then the Flyers do not play any defense, but they can score, and they can score a lot. So all 3 of the games for the Flyers now have gone over. So make a little note there that Flyers, when they're playing another aggressive team, like when Philadelphia plays Vegas or something, or they play Colorado, that we're going to see a ton of goals being scored, okay? When the books are going to put it at 6 and go ahead and bet over, right? So just make some mental notes as to where we go over here, because that's the beginning part of the year. It's a long season. We're going to be betting hockey and basketball throughout the entire NBA. So just sort of like, write down in your little notebook or whatever and try to keep track of these things because we want to come back to them. So, look, we're going to lose wagers, and, I don't like where I am right now in terms of how things have gone. There's a lot of things going on in my life right now that's really chaotic, and you guys will find out more about it coming up here in the next couple of weeks. But it's been a very, very hectic and very chaotic last couple of weeks. I'm not making excuses. I'm just saying that's, make sure we're keeping track of things because we want to come back to this stuff later in the year. So I'm trying to do it myself, trying to keep track of the notes. So half unit plays are 1-2 right now, hopefully 2-2 on the night, and then 0-1 on the full unit. So we're down. I'm really mad at myself for the Coastal bet. And I thought I was being cute, and I thought I was being first. So I got in, I saw 3.5, and I was like, it's moving. So I gave it to you guys on Monday. Like, let's jump on this before it really inflates, because I thought it would inflate, and it did. It closed at 5.5. And we had, 1.5 of closing line value. Again, closing line value. What does closing line value mean? CLV. It means nothing, all right? It means nothing, and it's a lesson that I'm trying to remember because I learn it the hard way all the time. I feel good about it. I'm like, we got ahead of the steam. That's great. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. What matters is cashing tickets and whether you're on the right side or not. And on Monday, I didn't care about closing line value. I wanted, the Titans +6. And there were people who bet the Buffalo Bills at -3.5. And they had insane closing line value, and they lost. Same thing was going on here on Wednesday. Closing line value. 90% of the money was on Coastal. Everyone was on Coastal. And I still felt pretty good about it. And I was pushing back on people. And I don't know if you guys listen to my radio show or not, but there's somebody who comes on, Pamela Maldonado, who is incredibly smart and incredibly sharp. And she's on my radio show every week, and I love talking with her, and I love listening to her and kind of picking her brain a little bit on things. And we were going back and forth because she was pointing out some stats for Appalachian State's defense. And she's like, look, I don't know if you're going to see as many points. She liked the under a lot in the game, which hit. She wasn't going to bet Coastal or App State, but she liked the under. And she was right. The under did hit. And the team total for Coastal under did hit. I laid the 4 points. And Coastal probably could have had a shot, but, penalties came in. You're on the road. It's the Sun Belt, okay? The referees had some egregious calls in that game. I'm not going to deny that. But Coastal did nothing in the second half. And App State's defense owned that game. And, you saw some plays, you're like, Coastal just had a chance. And Grayson McCall's a really good quarterback. But they couldn't get guys in open space. And credit App State's defense. App State's now won 6 games in a row against Coastal. And Coastal now is 1-7 over the last 7 games. I really thought this was the year for Coastal to get into a big bowl game and to have a big, Sun Belt championship, run the table, have a chance to get into a New Year's Six bowl game, but didn't happen. Credit App State, that was the right side. I was on the wrong side. The books were comfortable, go ahead, and they were moving the number, but nobody was taking Appalachian State, and everybody was like, is that a trap line? I was like, no, it's not a trap line, and I pushed back on that. It absolutely was. The books were telling us, right? Just like on Monday, everybody was like, how are the Buffalo Bills a 3.5-point road favorites to the Titans? The Titans lost to the Jets. How is that possible? It's the same thing. And so it's a lesson. I followed it on Monday, and I didn't on Wednesday because I couldn't on Wednesday because I had already bet it on Monday, and that's a lesson for me. I need to be a little bit more conservative, need to be a little bit more patient on some of these lines and watching the line movement and watching how people are wagering and try to figure out, what's the better side to be on. And look, doing my own handicap, and that my own handicap was breaking down, I thought the best players on the field were going to be on the offensive side of the ball for Coastal. And that didn't happen. Appalachian State played really well. They pressured Grayson McCall, and the run game was dead. That's the one thing we realized and watched. If you can stop Coastal running the football, then everything else really falls apart. So, bad pick, bad bet, credit Appalachian State. If you faded it, congrats. You were on the right side. You did App State money line. Some people were posting on TikTok saying I'm on App State money line. Great pick. Great job. Good bet. Opposite me. Most of you guys who were talking about that on the same people who were telling me they were on Appalachian State were on the Bills on Monday. So, it all evens out, right? It all kind of evens itself out, but not a good day. So today, here is what we're doing for today. We are going to have one full unit bet on Thursday Night Football, and then the return of the prop bet cheat sheet for the NBA and the posting of NBA props inside the Discord channel. This became a running joke last year, and still is. There's an inside joke. If you see somebody on the Discord channel on the Daily Juice side of things, right, has Matt posted the props yet? This is where this is from, because it was a running joke all of last year. Let me see where our numbers ended for NBA props last year. I know we came back down to earth late, but NBA props last year, let's see. We hit it at a 53% clip last year, okay? We were red hot. We were up 10 units at one point was the high in the regular season. And then we came back down to earth towards the end of the year and got cold towards the end of the year. But we were scorching hot in, pretty much the beginning part of the year. I will have at least 2 NBA player props going tonight. I might have more. If we get the Clint Capella assist prop, if anybody posts that, now I'm not sure we're going to. At the time of taping, nobody's got props, but we've got, Dallas and Atlanta tomorrow. We have Milwaukee and Miami tomorrow. We have Golden State and the Clippers tomorrow. So we got 3 games, and we'll see what we jump in on player props. But if we get the Clint Capella assist prop for tomorrow, I may be jumping in. At the time of taping, there are no props available at the moment right now. So we'll have to go into the prop bet cheat sheet, and we'll have to go into the books tomorrow. So at least 2, maybe 4 prop bet cheat sheets we're going to jump in here for us coming up today. Okay, So let's talk about what's going on here for the game between the Broncos and the Cleveland Browns. All right, the number is now 1.5. In the news that Baker Mayfield's not playing, this number has gone down dramatically. It was, 3, then 2.5, then 2, now 2, now 1.5, okay? We are going to do a same game teaser here for this, all right? 41.5 is the total. We are taking this total from 41.5 and we're pushing it up to 47.5. 6-point teaser. And we're taking the Denver Broncos at plus 1.5 up to 7.5. Crossing 7 is vital, all right? If you don't get this, if all the movement overnight and the number goes down to a pick or something, I wouldn't recommend playing this, okay? You want over 7.5. It's an important number to me because I don't know what Denver's offense is going to look like. Teddy Bridgewater is playing, and Teddy Bridgewater, known as Teddy Covers, this would be the brilliant, most perfect spot for Teddy Bridgewater to win the game outright. But with Case Keenum starting and no Kareem Hunt and no Nick Chubb, boy, I mean, the injury list right now for the for the Cleveland Browns is really, really bad. Like, they just don't have a lot to go on right now at all. And I mean, I'm looking at this going like, man, how are the Broncos, I don't know. I mean, in all honesty, shouldn't the Broncos be favored here? I mean, Cleveland is so banged up. It's a primetime game, so overs are a little bit scary, but like, you got Jadeveon Clowney is questionable. We know that Nick Chubb is out. We know that Kareem Hunt is out. We know Baker Mayfield is out. Like, you just go through the injury list for the Cleveland Browns, and it's extensive, the number of players. A.J. Green is out. He will not play. Jarvis Landry, injury reserve. Let's see. Who else is not playing? He was questionable for this game. Malcolm Smith, the linebacker, is questionable. Mac Wilson, the linebacker, is questionable. Willis, offensive tackle, is questionable. Malik Jackson, defensive tackle, is questionable. I mean, it's just like the entire Cleveland team is seriously banged up. Now, we know Bridgewater is questionable, but he is supposed to play. He was limited in practice, but all in all, like, he's expected to play in this game, which is really big. But, I mean, both these teams are just banged up. No Jerry Jeudy, no KJ Hamler. They're going to run the ball. Both teams are going to look to run the ball. Bleed clock, okay? I think Denver keeps this game close. Same game teaser, minus 120. Plus 7.5 for Denver. Under 47.5 is the same game teaser that I played here for Thursday Night Football. So that's a 1-unit play. We will have a half a unit at least going in props for the NBA. Not totally sure where I'm going, but we do have, 3 games to get into here on Thursday night. Dallas and Atlanta, Milwaukee at Miami, and LA at Golden State, like I mentioned. Clippers, the Golden State Warriors, I know the Clippers play defense, but man, it's going to be tough to keep me off the Steph Curry points prop with how badly he shot and how badly he played in game 1. Kind of feels like Steph's going to go off, right? So we'll get into those props coming up. We'll look at the prop bet cheat sheet and kind of go from there. But I don't know what to do with baseball. So at the time of taping, the Dodgers, has that game gone final yet? Let me see. That game is now final. 9-2, the final score, Atlanta. The over hit. Boy, I'm really tempted to come back here. We don't know who's pitching. The pitching matchup has not been announced yet for either team, for Atlanta or Los Angeles. I might come in on the over. I think the over may be the play. It's a 5 o'clock Pacific time start. It's an 8 o'clock Eastern time start. Atlanta trying to punch their ticket to the World Series. Dodgers are going to be, let me see. Are there any numbers here? No, there's no. Well, the money line is up. Dodgers, at FanDuel, they have Dodgers minus 136, which is what Boston was yesterday. They're minus 130. Boy, I don't know what to do about that. I just may. If the total's going to be like 7, 8, 9, or I'm going to guess, I guess it depends on the pitchers, but if it's under 8 or under 9, I'll bet the over. And I think we're going to see some offense from both teams, Dodgers and the Braves. But do I bet on the Dodgers to win? Everybody will bet on the Dodgers to win. How much value are we going to get on the Braves? I guess it depends upon the starting pitcher. So there may be an ad in the Discord channel for the Braves and the Dodgers, or maybe a play on a total. I may do 2 player props and then the Dodgers Braves game for a half a unit. I'm not really sure where I'm going to go exactly today, but I don't want to go too heavy because, yesterday we had back-to-back winning days, and then we gave a lot of it back. I think we gave all of it back yesterday, so I don't want to go too crazy today on a Thursday. So we got Friday, Saturday, Sunday. It really, what stinks, and I'm just going to kind of preview this a little bit. Have you guys been looking at the numbers for the NFL on Week 6? They stink. I mean, there's double-digit favorites everywhere, and realistically, you're going to have to bet a double-digit favorite and lay the points down on at least one game if you want to be involved in multiple games. And then the college football schedule is not great. Tennessee up against Alabama. That game used to mean so much. The third Saturday in October used to be a major event. It no longer is. Ole Miss is taking on LSU, and what's up with LSU now in the wake of firing Ed Orgeron. And then we got a bunch of just weird games. Cincinnati's against Navy. Could Navy hang around? So I don't love the college football or the NFL slate this coming weekend. So I'm not going to be heavy on in either day. I'm not going to be heavy. I will be involved, but I won't be heavy on either day. We'll probably bet some hockey and bet some basketball as well. And it's going to be a long year. Got to pace ourselves. Don't get too crazy. My hockey betting so far, I think I've lost every bet in hockey. I think that's right, officially. My hockey betting is off to a horrific start. Let me see if we have a record. It includes the entire. Yeah, I'm now 109 and 111. I'm now under 500, down 6 units since the start of January, since January 1st, 2021. 109 and 111, and that's without tonight. So really, I'm 109 and 112, and then we'll see what happens with the Golden Knights game tonight. So maybe it's 110 and 112. So still 2 games under 500. So 49.5%, not really where you want to be by any means. But it is what it is. Baseball we're now 78 and 85 in baseball. We're only down a unit in baseball. So nice little recovery. And that doesn't include tonight. So that's 79 and 85. So we're down below a unit. Below 1 unit. So what was 1.3 now it'll be 0.8 in Major League Baseball or 0.9 in Major League Baseball. Under a unit loss now for the entire baseball season. So the props, the futures definitely came in and helped us with that. I'm still 8-5 on Major League Baseball props. I'm up a unit there. I probably should have done more Major League Baseball props. We had a pretty good run there with Major League Baseball props. But so hopefully we'll come around here and start picking up some steam and start putting some things down and getting some W's here. So it's been an interesting start to the year. Historically speaking, for the Daily Juice, since we've began, we're now down. I think it's quick math on this would be 4 units, historically speaking, all time. So we've now, in over 17 months of betting every day, down 4 units. So, I've never bet this much in my entire life. I've never bet every day for 17 months. This has been an unbelievable marathon. This has been an unbelievable, up and down, crazy, wild experiment. It's been a lot of fun though. I've enjoyed it. It's been an absolute ball. So again, we're going to be heavy with the Discord channel coming up. The return of the Daily Juice Discord prop bets being posted on the Discord channel. Okay, that will be a return to that coming up. That'll be with a link below me here, underneath me here on YouTube or bettingpros.com/chat to get into that. And then the same game teaser for Broncos on the road here up against the Browns. Broncos plus 7.5, under 47.5 for 1 unit at -120 is the only real first official play here for the Daily Juice. We'll have more coming up later on today. My name is Matt Perrault. Follow me on Twitter at SportsTalkMatt. Each and every morning, it's the Daily Juice podcast being brought to you by BetMGM, always found on bettingpros.com.